Hello everyone, I'm here with Tech Motorsports, and here we have EW's E36 M3. Now, we're going to be going over the hard Motorsports fender flares that I installed probably by this time video comes out, maybe 6 months ago. Okay, so originally when we were first installing them, we weren't 100% sure if we were going to have them molded in or we were going to keep them that way, but paint them white. But EW decided he wants them molded in, and beautiful. It came out amazing. Thank goodness EW decided to do that, because it really sets the car off with that extra little flare on the front and especially the rear. Man, BMW should have done this when the chassis came out. God, it was just amazing. But let's take a look at each section of the car. We're going to concentrate on this side because it's easier to get to, and just go over a couple little things that I found issue-wise with tire clearance after running them for a while. But yeah, let's get straight to it. Okay, so with the rear, now originally when I was doing the installation, I checked the clearance of this wheel on the rear by removing the spring and just pushing it all the way up, and I had plenty of clearance. Now I also do want to add that originally we had 275 40 series R1s on here, Hoosiers 17s. So it looked like there was plenty of clearance once we started running, which we did have a 5mm spacer. Once we started running them, it started getting a little bit of rubbing here. So by looking at that, we took the spacer out and we got a little bit of clearance, but the tires were just a little big, which affected more the front of the car, but we'll get to that here soon. So yeah, so that was done correctly. So what we end up doing is now we're running 275/35 R1s. So we have plenty of clearance and we're still running no spacer. Now I wish we could add a spacer because there is a gap between here and here, between the tire and the actual edge of the molding itself. So, but yeah, so it came out very well. It's got a nice little round. It just looks amazing. Now on the rear section back here, what we end up doing to follow the line of the fender flare down towards the bumper, we had this section cut and then brought out, so we have a nice good line coming through, it was great because otherwise it would just be sticking out. So she came out pretty damn good, if I might add. So yeah, the body work, or the flaring, was done by a body shop. I did not do this. The car had some damage on the other side, and that was the reason why we decided to go ahead and just pull the trigger on the flare. So very glad we did. So let's take a quick look at the front real quick. One of the things that I was more like not too happy about the fender flares on the hard Motorsports is this section right here. This section sticks out a lot, which is, which connects or covers the nose panel right here. So that was the only thing, but we put some tape just because we were at Daytona. We wanted to close that gap up so that way it doesn't, mess up the airflow or anything of that sort, or actually become a parachute. So we end up doing that, but like I stated earlier, the front is where I had more of my clearance issues. So this one was going to be a little bit more of trying to clear everything. Now, originally when I did the installations, I cut all of this completely out. So there is no lip. It is technically just straight out. With the 275 40 series tires, we did have some clearance issues. It was rubbing up here towards the front. So we did do a little bit of clearance on that. And at that time, we did not have these 275/35s yet. We had the 40 series tires. So once we decided that after we put the new bumper, that we did not want to cut into the new bumper like we did with the old one, which we ended up trimming it like right here. Instead of doing that, we decided just to throw on the 35s and go from there. And by doing so, I mean, we barely had any more rubbing issues. We'd love to have the car sit just a tad bit lower, but we're going to keep it like that for now. We'll look at that a little bit later, just because we know we might have a little bit of issue still in the rear if we go down a tad bit. But overall, the car is setting much more lower than it was previously, even before we did this. I mean, we are able to get the car much more lower now. So yeah, so let's take kind of like an overview of the lines going into the flares. So you saw that, a little bit of air dam fog light action there. I will explain it in another clip. There she is. The flares just, in all honesty, came out great. It just looks amazing. As I stated before, man, BMW should have done this when the chassis came out in production, but it really sets the car off, gives it the extra curves that it needs. Because normally, if you look at the back end over there, it is just a small little indentation for the flares and or for the fenders, which this just, it sets it off. It's great. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, so there we go, guys. Pretty much that will wrap it up. It just looks great. A lot of work went into it, but man, the final product is just, it's 2 thumbs up. And wait, 2 thumbs up. So yeah, guys, like always, help the channel out by doing so. You got to hit the like and subscribe button, and there is more stuff to do to the car. So I will touch base on that, and hope to see you in the next video.